What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm trying to make the damaged Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, and I guess presumably 5 it will be eventually. Anyway, here it is, or here he is in all of his Huggy Wugginess. This is an entirely new Huggy design. As you can see, he is a lot different from the one to his side and is taller, even though he is not standing up straight. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy your tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Here are all the materials we're needing for Mr. Huggy Wuggy himself. Alrighty, and the space we need for this is a 17 by 12, and the materials we're needing to start off are yellow wool, blue wool, stone, red nether bricks, diorite, diorite walls, red nether brick walls, oak trapdoors, and we'll go smooth quartz blocks. And that should be able to finish his legs and body. So starting from the front right hand corner of your 17 by 12 grid, golf if you made it, you want to start by counting left by 6. And going back, you want to place 4 yellow wool. Extend each yellow to the left by 1. Along with the back 2 rows left, an additional 1. Of each of these 3 rows, you will take the back half and extend them up with an additional yellow, which means on the far left it'll be the back block, and on the other 2 rows it'll be the back 2. Easy math. On top of the 2x2 of yellow here, we're ignoring this block on the left because it's not important. You're going to place a 2x2 of blue wool. On top of that, you'll place 3 rows of stone and then another row of blue wool. Extend this row of blue wool back a row on the, back side, and then you'll take the back 2x2 of blue wool and extend it up by 3. Then bring the top row of blue back a row again. Take the back 2x2 and extend it up with a row of stone. And then up with 3 rows of blue wool. The back row of blue will be brought back with a row of stone. And you'll bring specifically the row of stone up by 2 rows. The middle of the 3 will be brought both forward and backward by 1 to create the infamous plus shape. In the back top corner of the plus, you'll place blue wool like so. You'll then extend the row of stone and row of blue wool up with an additional row of blue wool, which will yet again extend back an additional row. The back 2x2 of blue wool can be brought up with a blue wool row. Whoa, that's not right. Then a stone row. And then 2 blue wool rows. Before we do the other leg, just quickly, the stone is duct tape on his legs and stuff. I'll explain the other stuff, I guess, later, because it's not important yet, but it is there, I guess. So, yeah, there's that. So, the other leg I think will be easier for us to do. You'll end up taking the top row of blue wool here on the previous leg and extend it to the left by 4, like so. You'll then take the left 2 front blue wools, and we're going to just do 1 row because we'll end up doing the same thing we did for the Nightmare Critter's arms if you've made those. You'll end up bringing the blue wool down by 4, then back 1, then down by 3, then back 1, then down by 4, and then down with 2 stone. Then back stone, down stone, down with 4 blue wool, and then you'll connect down from there with 2 yellow wool. Again, extend each layer of the leg back with an additional block of its respective material. Just 1 per block. The additional little, I guess, rows should already be built in for the kind of diagonal portions when you do that. He is not a pirate, and he actually has a foot, so let's make the foot. You'll take the bottom row of the 2x2x2 yellow wool cube at the bottom here and extend it forward with 2 rows of yellow. Off the right side of also those back 2 rows, you'll place more yellow, and then the back yellow of that little row of 2 will be brought up by 1. And there's his legs. That's... I guess it's the easy part done, yeah. I don't really feel like it's particularly a difficult build overall, but, you know, it's still, it's the easy part done. You'll take the top row of blue wool here in the body and extend it up diagonally forward with a row of blue wool. You extend it up a row that also gets extended to the left and right an additional row. And then you'll go up from that with 2 full rows of blue wool, and then we have some block by block to do. We could build it all up in theory and then build in the damage, but we're going to build the damage in now. Going left to right on top of that row, you'll place a red nether brick, a block that you can't see, so we're going to go with a diorite, and then another diorite right of that. That one is visible. Right of that, you'll then place 3 blue wool, a red nether brick, and a blue wool to end. Next row, going left to right, you'll place a diorite, and then I guess just bring it right by 3. Hey, look, it's almost a lemon chip. And then you'll go right from that with 2 blue wool, red nether brick wall, diorite wall. Next row up, going left to right, you'll place a diorite wall, a red nether brick, a diorite, and then to end, it'll be 5 blue wool. Next row, going left to right, you'll leave a gap of 1 from this wall and place 5 blue wool, and then a smooth quartz block. Next row is the perfect opposite. It's 5 smooth quartz and then a blue wool. Next row is a blue wool, 2 smooth quartz, 2 blue wool, and then a diorite wall. Next row is smooth quartz, 4 blue wool, and a red nether brick wall. And then the final row will end up being a gap of 1 from the left, blue wool, gap of 2, blue wool. And that's kind of his body shape done. Now, without thinking about it too much, you want to do the same thing off of the back of the body here, except you just want to do it all with blue wool. And when I say not to think too much, you're placing it behind every block or wall specifically. And the walls count as blocks in this particular instance for whatever reason, they just do. But yeah, and then you'll also fill in the center with blue wool. There is nothing here, at least as far as I'm aware, because I was using an image rather than a model. So I just assumed there's nothing because I couldn't see it. But yeah, if you want to add something, you can. It does end up bleeding to the sides a little bit, the areas we have done, but yeah, you should end up with this. And that is the shape. Now, how do I go about doing this? We'll start with the right side, because the right side is easier. You will, if you're looking at this, you'll go to the right, and you'll just take a couple of blocks specifically. You're taking first this diorite wall and extending it back with a diorite block. You're taking this smooth quartz block, and you're extending it back diagonally right with also a smooth quartz block. You're taking the next diorite wall up and also extending it back with a diorite block, and then the red nether brick wall will be brought back with a diorite wall. The body doesn't perfectly go out a row like normal here. What I would essentially do is start by taking this smooth quartz block here and just placing a blue wool below it, which will connect it into the diorite. Also extend it up with 3 blue wool, so it's in line with the diorite wall here, and then I'd go up diagonally left by 1. Ignore this gap, you can barely see it anyway. Did I fill it in, actually? That's a really good question. Yes. It's, like, really not visible, but I do have a blue wool in it if you really care. I don't think it'll matter, though. Below the diorite block, you will end up going down diagonally right by 1. Down by 3, and then you'll go down diagonally left by 1. You kind of want the same thing on the left. We'll worry about the back row in a second. Yeah, no, just make the same thing on the left side. Just make sure it's all blue wool rather than anything fancy. So, again, I'm just going to follow the shape here. It's going to be up diagonally left by 2, up 3, up diagonally right 1, and then it's really just all the way up. The only blocks you have to worry about here is where these 2 smooth quartz blocks are. On this side row, they are also smooth quartz blocks. We can assume this bandage goes all the way around. Again, like, Kissy didn't make it, and that wasn't even something I processed, actually, until right now. But, yeah. And then the back row on both sides is just all blue wool. There's nothing going on with them. The entire back half is completely blank except for the legs, I guess, and maybe the head? Not really sure. Oh, I forgot the up diagonal. Oh, no. You should have this. That's really just the rough out of the damage. There's still a lot more left to do. So we will start with the top right here, where you have the diorite wall with the red nether brick wall on top. On top of the red nether brick wall, you want an oak trap door, and again, that will like pretty much seal that gap off, so you just can't see it at all. But you know, it is nice to still have it filled in regardless. On the left side, where you have this going on, you want to take the like furthest right diorite block and place a diorite wall in front. They extend the diorite wall left 2, down 1, left 1, and then you'll go down with a red nether brick wall. With the exception of this top red nether brick, because you want a diorite wall in front of that. In front of every other diorite block you have, you'll place a red nether brick wall, which is those 3 specifically. To the left of this diorite and red nether brick on the left side, you'll place diorite walls, and then the top one can actually be brought back an additional block, so it kind of overhangs like that. Off of those 2 diorite walls here on this side, you'll place oak trap doors opened or closed up against the left top and bottom of them, like so. These are my attempt at making the little rope that ends up sealing most of this off. It's not particularly great because there's nothing thin enough that isn't oak fence, because oak fence just isn't going to work with the walls. But, yeah. The other thing to do the same thing with is this really the only row of specifically diorite walls. You're placing the oak trap doors on the bottom top, and this time the front instead, that are open up against it like so. That's all the body detailing. Let's do his right arm first, or the left arm, which is the one on the side we're on right now currently. You will take the top smooth quartz here and extend it left with a blue. Bring the blue down 1, left 2, down 2, left 1, down 1, down with a stone, blue wool, stone, blue wool, then forward 1 with a blue still, down 1, down with 2 stone, 3 blue wool, forward 1, down with a stone, and then down with 3 blue wool. For the most part, you should just place an additional block inside of each of the same variant, which is right of each one. There is an exception to that, but we're actually going to worry about it later, and we're just going to have to break it in eventually. But yeah, I guess that also includes under the top here, like so. So you kind of see you have that one diagonal at the top of his arm, I guess in his armpit, for lack of better words. Extend each blue or stone also back by 1, and do make sure you are aware of which part is which. So essentially when I place this, I know that I just placed that, so I'll go up another row. Something very simple that can absolutely wreck a build if you do lose track. But yeah, essentially every time the arm goes forward, it'll be a 3-row section. Same with the legs, but I didn't worry about it there, I guess. As I mentioned, there was one exception earlier, and it's if you head to the front, you will take this bottom row of stone in the front right stone and replace it with a red nether brick. Off of the bottom of this arm, you'll place 3 rows of yellow wool moving down from the blue. Off the right of this, you'll place a yellow off the top right, and then you'll extend this yellow back 1 and down 1. Also, off of the right side, you will take this blue, and we're going to do something similar but also different. Crazy. Who would have guessed that it's similar but not the same? You'll take this blue wool and extend it to the right by 1. Then down 1. Right 2, and we're going to stop there for a sec. You'll end up bringing each blue just down by 1, along with, I guess, the whole arm back a row here, this little shoulder. I just think it's easier to do it this way because we have a weird section coming up next. So below, not the furthest, well, yeah, below the back right blue wool, you'll place a diorite wall. In front of it, you want a red nether brick wall. Left of each of these, you'll have diorite walls, and then off the right of the diorite wall here, this back one, you'll place a red nether brick, and right of the red nether brick wall, you want a diorite wall, which you want a 3x2 space like so. You will have that gap. Whoa, that is very circular. You will have that gap, but we're just not going to worry about that. Either way, you will bring the right 2x2 of this down with 6 blue wool. Just like so. You'll then extend the bottom row forward a row, and then the front 2 rows down a row. The front row here can also be brought down an additional row, and then you'll take the bottom 2x2 and extend it forward with 2 blue wool per block. I feel like it's logical to just clear our inventory here because we need 2 materials, and yeah, we might as well blow up everything. Actually, we need 3, I lied. Get out pale oak trapdoors, warp fence, and warp fence gates. We only need them for this, so we'll worry about the rest later because I do want to get rid of these first. Off the front of this arm, you'll place pale oak trapdoors opened up against it. On the top left blue wool, you want a warp fence gate. Right of it, 2 warp fence. Furthest right warp fence can be brought down by 1. Left of the fence gate, you want a warp fence, which can be brought down by 2. Before we continue, all these are like bandages and stuff that are sewing up areas that appear to be very ripped. And then this here would be, I guess, his arm is obviously not there anymore, so it's a bandage which appears to be strung off by a little drawstring that was on his, like, neck, I guess. Yeah, that. So yeah, that's really all about that. Now you want to get out for this next step. Mangrove planks. Ah, I missed a material, that's fine. Mangrove slabs. Mangrove stairs, which was not on the original list, and I just realized that, which I'm upset. I'm so mad. Blue wool. That's crazy. Just place right, please. Smooth quartz stairs. Black concrete. Granite slabs. And pointed dripstone should end us off. So first off, at the front here, you want to take the gap between the top 2 blue wools and just place mangrove planks in it. Extend them forward a row. You'll go both left and right, and you'll be doing the same thing here. You will go out with an upside down slab, up with a plank. Out with an upside down slab, up with a plank, up with a slab. Out with a plank, and then you will need a placeholder for this, but on top of that, you want an upside down stair facing inward. Like so. On top of that upside down stair, you want a slab, which you will bring in by 1. Then from those, go down with an upside down slab, in with a plank, and then in with an upside down stair that also faces inward. On top of either of the upside down stairs, you'll place slabs like so, and that is the mouth shape for the Wugster himself. Each, I say that lightly, you'll just take each plank, I guess, and extend them back by 1 to start. Which will be those. You'll do the same with the upside down stairs at the, like, top outer edges here, but only these. And then really, this is kind of weird from here, but I would place a row of blue wool just like behind these mangrove slabs on the top of the mouth and just connect it together to create a full row. It'll help us with doing the inside of the mouth in a second here. In addition, you'll take each of the mangrove planks that you brought back, which are going to be like really this kind of bottom area specifically I want to mention, and you want to bring each mangrove plank up diagonally back by 1 to kind of create this almost a U shape. It's like a really wide U, like so. The outermost planks will be brought up by 1, and then those top ones can be brought out by 1 and also in until they connect, which from the back looks like this kind of. Oh, that's cursed. An additional block back, you'll fill in this kind of weird shape with mangrove still. Off of each mangrove plank top and bottom, you'll place pointed dripstone, including the blue wool that you have visible here. Now, in the areas where you have it 2 blocks like this, I don't know if this works in Java, and I don't even know if it works on console, frankly, but thank you to somebody in my live stream chat when I was making this guy who told me this. But you can, essentially, if you have 2 like this, you know, if you place it, you'll connect, that will connect. You can shift place them, and they will not connect, which is very interesting. I never knew about that. But you're doing this with every block excluding the front row and just kind of picking whichever one you'd rather do if you have 2 in a situation like here. I'm just going to pick the bottom because that's what I did originally. And I also have to do these. Oops, I have to shift place those, and then these here, which I'll also actually bring these top middle ones down an additional row so they point a little bit lower. Yeah, Huggy has 2 rows of teeth, which I feel like that's new. It might have been like that in Chapter 1, but from what I remember, it wasn't. Though, I guess when I made Huggy as well, which is when I would have noticed it, he had his mouth closed. But I feel like I would have noticed it for the jump scares, surely. Anyway, yeah, you should have this. That looks pretty good. For the left and rightmost blue wools here on the head, you will extend them out by 2. You will take, not the outermost one, but 1 block in, and you'll bring these blues down by 2. And then down diagonally in by what should also be 2 until they will connect. To, I guess, the bottom row of blue. At the, top blocks here of blue, you'll extend them up by 2 on either side. Then you'll go up diagonally, out 1, up 1, in by 2, down diagonally in by 1, and connect together. We'll just break the area later that we have to do in the top right. I'd rather make it symmetrical, so it just helps us for later. The center 2 rows of blue wool you can fill in the center here, which is just going to be above these 2 mangrove slats. Oh my god. And then this is the same eye design as you've seen a lot, I'm sure. You've seen it on Huggy, you've seen it on who else? Boxy? Boxy might be the only other one, actually. But anyway, outside of this, you're going to place essentially in the bottom corners here a smooth chord stair facing out. On top of it, an upside down smooth chord stair facing out. And then you'll place the same thing outside of that with stairs facing inward instead. A block behind those, you'll fill them in with black concrete. Specifically the stairs. And then the sides of the head here, you'll fill in with blue wool, like so. Now that still looks extremely wrong, so let's fix it, shall we? For the middle 2 rows of the head, it's essentially out another row, and it's similar to the Smiling Critters to where it's like every row but the, I guess, bottom row of each side. So if you take these blue wools here, I guess the little row 2 that you already have on these sides, you'll end up going up diagonally out by 2. And I'll do it on both sides at the same time. You'll then go up 1, up diagonally out 1, then up 1. I love my chair squeaking, it's fantastic. It's been doing it the whole last 2 videos I've recorded. Then up diagonally out 1. Then up by 4. Then in 1. Down diagonally in 1, and you'll connect together here. And if you look at it from the front, you see that looks much better shape-wise. Such a hard, it's still a weird shape to recreate in Minecraft. Anyway, you'll copy the kind of shape of the front row onto the back row as well, just an additional row back, which I'm going to kind of just look and see. 2, 3, 2, and then I think it's just 1 diagonals to here, which I'll fill this in, and you will end up filling in the back of the head when you do this as well. But yeah, something I struggle with on both, I think, is just getting the head right. Making his ears that right size, because they're such a peculiar shape that you either will make them too big or too small if you don't have layers and stuff. And I think I got it. Oop, I think the middle is down, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Just kind of make sure that you have it the same by looking from the side even will help. And you'll tell if it's different, like this angle really right here. And that looks perfect. And check the other side as well. The only other thing is the granite. Now, it's the top right of his head. You want to break the inner row out of this kind of 2x2 here of blue, like so. You'll have a gap here, and you'll break left of that gap a row, along with the blue wool in front. Out of those 2 rows, you'll break down an additional one on the left, and essentially in line with this like top row of blue here on the back that you see, you'll just place a 2x2 of granite slabs moving forward with a singular granite block down on the left side here. There's no point in putting in the materials list if you only need one, which you can just use with slabs anyways. This actually, I think, is the bandages. When I looked at it originally, it looked like the brain, but I think it was somebody out of bounds or some video or something, and it looked more white than pink, but I don't know. It looked pink to me originally when I was looking at the image, so I went with it, but you can change it to the bandage design if you'd like. Just really using some diorite slabs instead, I guess. It's really the only change I'd make, and maybe change 1 or 2 to red nether brick. But anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the 3rd Huggy Wuggy statue complete. You got regular, you got Nightmare, and you got this one. Still think Nightmare is my favorite. That one turned out amazing. Anyway, thank you guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.